All right. All right. Welcome to the WolfShadePodcast. I am your host, WolfShade. I'm a little bit tired and all over the place right now. We are on episode 64 of the podcast. It's a little special episode because this episode was months in the making. We finally got a good old friend of mine, one of my closest best friends, might as well, as people call her, the Alpha, one of my favorite ladies, who's having fun over here. Miss Brionna Walker, aka
Yes.
AlphaWolf on Instagram. You follow her on Instagram, you know her, you love her, everything. Yeah, welcome to the show. Welcome to episode 64. How you doing today?
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here after my busy schedule. But I am doing wonderful.
Wonderful.
Yes,
Obviously, you know me.
I do.
And obviously I can read very well. But I'm glad you're doing wonderful. And I'm just glad you're finally able to join me today. But what's new with you besides, schooling, cosplay? Like, what's new with you?
Well, I'm actively working towards my several degrees. I will be graduating this December, getting my associates in criminology and criminal justice and my certificate in
Okay.
security and crimes and investigation. And I just got accepted to George Washington University.
Nice.
Prestige elite college by the White House. And there I'll be doing a professional studies bachelor's in Homeland Security. So the goal for that as an entry level position will either be a custom border patrol agent or an ICE agent, which is an international agent that helps with affairs. And then once I get that kind of squared away, I would be at James Madison University on a full ride scholarship doing international affairs and international conflict in the Asia regions. And then I will
Okay.
also do intelligence analysis. So
Okay.
that I am doing.
Homeland. Okay. Homeland Security and a cosplay. Never thought I'd see that connection.
Well, people got the police and agent fetish. So,
Yep. I didn't even think about that till you said that, but yeah, you got a point. But yeah, so you just added more questions to my repertoire. Hmm.
I'm an
So
open book.
true. So in regards to Homeland security, what was kind of like the niche that kind of got you started on that?
Okay, so there's a good and bad portion to that.
Oh
So I'm gonna
boy.
start off with the good portion. So the good portion is that I've been studying criminology since the age of 5. I was the weird kid that watched a whole bunch of crime documentaries and
Mm-hmm.
files and shit like that. So I have
Mm-hmm.
had a fascination for crime and um, ballistics, blood spatter analysis, and everything under the sun. But I kind of kept it more as like a niche. It was just something I liked to do on the side. Um, and I didn't really feel like I was going to go into it as a career. I actually wanted to do fashion design,
Mm-hmm.
but when I got into that area, when I started modeling at the age of 15, I noticed all of the sexism, racism, demographic stereotypes, and I was like, this ain't my cup of tea. So then I
Mm-hmm.
went from fashion design to cosmetology.
Mm-hmm.
So that didn't work either because they also have their own problems and complications. So I was like, this ain't gonna work. So then I
Mm-hmm.
did art, and of course I draw and I do all kinds of arts, and I was just like, I don't want to have that fucked up either. So I
Yeah.
was find a niche that I know has troubles and problems with that won't deter me. So then I went back to criminology and I was like, okay, well, this has been a thing. This is something that I love. I just didn't
Mm-hmm.
know when I wanted to jump into it because I had to take care of my family for a decade, which is why I'm a late bloomer. I'm 30 and I'm now just starting off my damn life, but it is what it is. So I worked for a whole decade, so basically teenage year all the way up into the age of 25, basically, and I'm still taking care of their bills, but whatever. It is what it
Mm-hmm.
is.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't jump into criminology until my uncle got murdered in Texas. And that happened in 2019. And that pushed me because it was labeled a black on black crime in Texas. Texas is a racist state. I don't care if people live there. Y'all know y'all in a racist state. Y'all can argue me up and down. I got statistics. We can go tit for tat. You will lose anyways. So it was the fact that a black veteran killed another black veteran. And what the outcome was is that my double XL 300-pound sergeant uncle got stabbed 7 times by a 72-year-old veteran and his ex-girlfriend in his house, and was labeled stand your ground law. They interviewed the 72-year-old, and then killers are set free. And then case is closed. So then I was like, nah, we not about to do that. So that was my calling to jump into school, which I did. And then, but the thing is that when I go into whichever agency, I can't pick up family or people I'm close to files because it's conflict of interest. So I have to become a private investigator, but you can't become a private investigator until you get shit underneath your belt. So I have to do like extra double degree work just so I can become private, so then I can pick up, because I don't want to be in a situation to where I want to pick up a case, whether it be community or international, and then be told by my superior that there's something more important. Because to me, all criminals are the same. I don't put a terrorist above a pedophile, and I don't put like an active shooter over a serial rapist. I don't have those types of biases. So I already know that it's going to be a problem when I get into the system. But basically, I'm going to dig up whatever is being hidden. And I just pray to God that he gets to them before I do, because it's not going to be good. So that is the reason why I'm in it now. And plus, I'm just tired of people not being realistic when it comes to crime. Like, crime happens every single damn day. And people don't understand that you can't have privacy and security at the same time. You either have a whole bunch of security and a little privacy, or you need to have a lot of privacy and little security. You can't have both. And so when I keep hearing all these same arguments, I'm like, you do realize that your Alexa, your Amazon is tracking you, your GPS is tracking you. So you getting mad at the government for whatever reason, unless you live an Amish lifestyle or you live in the woods, you are getting your PlayStation is tracking you. Anytime you jump on the internet, it's tracking you. When you go shopping, it's tracking you. When you use Waze, it's tracking you. So my thing is, I need for people to educate themselves in security and actually understand what they're into before they want to just start pointing fingers.
Yeah. Well, damn. Okay. All right. And best of luck on that. You know, I'm sorry you had to go through that specific adversary in your life, because I know from dealing with that type of experience, that type of thing is not easy, and it kind of puts you on this journey. Just be like, hey, I know this is not all what happened, so I'm gonna do this just to make sure I find out what it is. So I get where you're coming from with that.
Yeah, I mean, the Black community ain't protected either. So it's like, yes, we have police brutality, but people don't understand that cops kill each other more than they kill the Blacks.
Yeah.
And so, you don't know these things until you actively get into criminology. So that's why I tell people, at least just take one class. It'll change your entire perspective. Because yes, we all know that police brutality exists, but I need for people to look at the full picture. The reason why police brutality exists is because the people that are like running the program is the ones that's paying them to do it. And even though that's not an excuse, it's why it's there. Like, you have cosmetology students that get more training than police. Why they do the things that they do. And it's not every cop either. But it stems into politics, and it stems into demographics, which a lot of people don't understand. But I have a lot of cops and agents in my family, so I don't have a fear for cops. But I also know my rights, and if people knew their rights, they would have a more fighting chance. Even if they were to get unalived, at least your family would have a fighting chance to get some type of reparations. But when you don't know your own laws, and you don't know the communities that you're living in, and you don't know the districts that you're living in, you're at a disadvantage.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's best to make sure you know everything before you do it, and just to make sure you don't come in, I guess, surprised or just lackluster of being like, hey, what's going on in this certain situation. So I think it makes more sense for everyone to kind of just know what they're getting into and everything too. I mean, this shit just usually find me, but hey, it happens.
I mean, you'd be surprised. It's a lot of things that go behind the scenes that people don't know.
Look, I usually just found out from just asking questions. I was like, damn, what's wrong with asking questions? Okay.
There's
But
nothing wrong with asking questions. Just people lately have gotten more sensitive. So instead of, when people ask a question that they don't have the answers to, instead of having the accountability to be like, hey, I don't have the answer to that, but let me figure it out, they get offended. And then that
yeah,
goes nowhere.
yeah, they be getting offended sure a lot though. I'm just like, I if I ask a question on a certain thing that I need an answer to, people can't be mad at me when it comes to that because it'd be certain answers to certain situations you know, may need answers to. Of course, I'm not gonna get the answer to that, but it's just like, okay. I found out regardless.
Questions
Huh?
as you what were some of the questions?
Um like about what I said just now.
Yeah. Like what were some of the questions that people want to get offended at?
Um if I remember correctly, it wasn't really a question, but it was a statement that I said. It was kind of like I think one of my good friends brought this up in her stories because I was saying like in regards to you know cosplay, I've said in my stories I was like the community is okay and it has its moments, but the thing I don't like is sometimes we be harboring the worst people that has all these things, these messed up things about them, and nothing's being done about them. So, and I was like, I hate to bring up this type of statement, but some of you people be harboring the worst people that you're still harboring, and and it's not a pretty look. So that's pretty much what I was relaying to, but I can get in a whole discussion about that.
It
But
sounds like people that you're describing are stuck in their comfort zone because that's what tends to happen. People tend to stay in their comfort zone even if it hurts them instead of actually going outside their comfort zone and learning from their experiences.
yeah, I always be telling people that this is why I kind of keep my circle for some of my friend circle small when it comes to this niche. I just be like, yeah, like I'll be like, I'll be down to meet everybody, but I'm not gonna be friends with everybody. Like,
Right, right. You're supposed to have priorities. Like people need to have. So my issue with that is that a lot of people don't practice um boundaries,
yeah,
and within those boundaries, they tend to do exceptions
mm-hmm,
for what they deem is being nice or cordial or professional, but they also are devaluing themselves. And then that's why you have that loophole. I have friends that are friends, I have acquaintances, I have conveniences, and people are like,
mm-hmm,
oh, it's kind of like bad to call me a convenience. Like, no, it's exactly what it means. Like, I look at friendships or any type of ship like business. So
mm-hmm,
we all go to convenience stores when our regular stores are closed because it's
mm-hmm, yeah,
so if a person is treating you like a convenience, meaning they only want you to attend to, their events or when they want to talk to you, you're being treated as convenience. And so if you treat me as a convenience, I will reciprocate that. I'm not about to sit
mm-hmm,
there and treat you like a best friend when you're treating me like a convenience. But people don't have that intelligence to know their self-value, know their self-worth, and be like, well, you know what? I'm always reaching out. I'm always the one texting, the one that's always calling. I'm always the one driving to their side of the town, but then I have to beg them to drive to my side of the town or to check up on me. And then people need to understand that that person is going to keep you at that level because that's comfortable for them. They
mm-hmm,
don't want to see you progress, so they keep you at that same stagnant ass level. And you can't blame them for you staying in that stagnant level that they're keeping
yeah,
you because you don't know your self worth.
yeah,
And
great,
it's that's that simple.
yeah, I agree. Cause I be telling people, I was like, you need to understand your self-worth from other people that's treating you like a freaking fodder. Like you gotta stop having people you gotta have people stop treating you like that, because you being treated as a fodder because you wanna be, let's say for example, close to whatever person is like, it's not right. And
No,
I always tell people, I was like, look at you gotta look at your self-worth and all that. It's just like people be focused on way too much about what the other person is doing. Like who can I use as a prime example? Oh, yeah, I can use me. Like when I'm at conventions or anything, or when I'm at conventions with people that I'm close with and everything, or parties or whatever, like I will stay around a specific group that I know that I can trust. Like
right.
you seen me. It's like it's like I'm always around a specific group, like, and then when you brought up the topic of consent and all that. You
True.
know how I am. We interacted way too many times. It's like I know that topic off the niche of a thing like that, but it's like I've noticed lately when you kind of treat people with respect around that notion, people don't really expect that. Be like, okay, I understand consent. I understand that. Okay, I can tell from a feel or vibe and be like, okay, this person don't want to interact for, let's say, example, with a hug. I would probably interact with a handshake instead. Be like, hey, this is me. And then some people don't want to interact with a handshake. And then like at parties and everything, when everybody's having fun and stuff like that, when like I'm morally with the boys, but like what's not going to stop me from having fun?
Right.
like like you're not going to stop me from having fun. And majority of these parties and stuff like that is be like it's always going to be, let's say for example, that one woman that wants to dance and stuff like that. I just be like, sure, you comfortable? They say yes. I just be like, cool. Like shit, how many times we dance? So like I'm just like, what the hell? I
Consent.
always at
People. People. How do I put this? People don't understand fully what consent is, because you can tell someone you're okay with something, but then your body is not okay with it.
Mm-hmm.
But then, in that sense, people don't take the accountability that they are truly not okay with it,
Yeah.
but they pretended that they were okay with it. And then
Yeah.
it's mostly a woman's thing, and I hate to say that, but men, it's easier with men with consent, because they'll be like, I like this or I don't like this. But then you'll have women who be like, I kind of like it. You can't kind of like something. Kind of cannot be in the same sentence with consent. It's either yes or no. It's not no in between. Maybe, I don't know. Oh, he was cute, but no. It's either I'm comfortable with this or I'm
Mm-hmm.
not. And that also turns into accountability. Like if you know that you are a hugger, but you only like certain types of hugs, that has to be communicated. Or if
Mm-hmm.
you are, a person who only likes physical touch for someone that you are somewhat attracted to, then that means that if you're not attracted to them, don't accept the hug.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. Because when it comes to that, I'm just like, yeah, okay. Well, then it makes more sense if you kind of relate that message like maybe a couple days ago or a week ago, then we wouldn't have to go through this notion. It's kind of why I stopped, you know, interacting, because like we're not really interacting. Because like I used to be a hugger back then. Kind of still am, but it's just like I'm kind of mindful around certain people. I was like, nah, something's never right.
Because it's cancel culture now. And everybody get canceled for literally the dumbest shit.
Yeah. Oh man, I can go into a whole lot of topic about that, but like with cancel culture, it's kind of like some of the things that don't make sense in regards to that. I'm just like, because in certain communities, you're always going to deal with those people that will just flat out falsely accuse somebody and just not think it's not going to be, reprimands to it, which sadly to say doesn't end up happening. Sometimes it happens, sometimes it doesn't. And it's just like, ugh, gross.
See, we criminology majors, we don't like that. The reason why we don't like that is because that has consequences. You can
Yeah.
literally ruin someone's life by talking shit about them on fucking Facebook or the internet. Like that's not a digital fingerprint. It's a digital fingerprint. Once you put it out there, it's out there. Even if you
Yeah.
destroy a motherboard, it's out there. So people are not mindful of their emotions, and that's the problem in today's age. I would say I'm not old. I'm 30, but like everyone likes to put everything online, and then they act the way that they act when shit gets out of hand. Well, it wouldn't got out of hand if you kept it professional and like a one-on-one type of thing. But when you start involving outside parties and the world, which is the Internet of Things, then you're gonna have to deal with the consequences of you not having evidence. Evidence is very important in criminology, but there's also other types of evidence. You have direct evidence, and then you have indirect evidence, which is circumstantial evidence. Like for instance, if someone killed somebody, you have the direct evidence, which would be like the murder weapon, the motive, and then you'll have indirect evidence as like witnesses or like a life insurance policy. So when
Mm-hmm.
people like to talk about what someone has done to them, you need to have receipts, you need to have screenshots, and they need to be the original screenshots, not screenshots that you have edited out or that you have cropped. Because that's why a lot of people lose their cases in the court because they have either fabricated lies under oath, which is a felony. You will get
Mm-hmm.
that, or they have circumstantial evidence that favors them, but it's not the entirety of the situation.
Yep. It's just like with that. I know I know too many people who kind of just been through that niche and everything. I be telling people I was like, you guys know not to try me. And I remember one person had the audacity. It was like they'd be like, "What do you mean?" I remember it was after a specific party, and I was like, okay, Instagram stories are 24 hours. And I told them we follow the same friend group. Look at all your friend group stories and let me know. And then as soon as they looked at all their friend group stories and all that, they was like, damn, my bad, bro. I was like, it's okay. It's just like I always tell people, I go to these parties to have fun and everything, but I'm not stupid. It's like I'm
Right.
not stupid whether I'm drunk or whether I'm not. It's just, you know, it's just I always notice that some people in, a specific friend group are like just looking for people to mess up and everything. And in a couple of instances, like over a few months, that would just be like, oh, Wolf Shade, this type of person, Wolf Shade is this. I'm like, but you got me in your DMs that says otherwise. Like I can expose the whole conversation we had about um Japanese women and stuff like that. And this is kind of labeled on one situation, but I'll explain later to you. But so I was like, okay, you saying that I say this, but yet you met with me, you know how I am, and then there's plenty of videos of what I'm doing completely otherwising of what you're saying about me. I just be like, it's just peak entertainment for me. And you're not wrong. Like I know these type of things can ruin somebody's name in a hurry. I just be like, I just be telling people, I was like, look, I'm not in this community to be friends with everybody. That's not what I'm here for.
Right.
Like I'm here to cosplay for myself. I'm here to just mainly have fun, regardless of a goddamn following and everything, and just try to, have fun, try to influence people to that I want to do this as well. Because the main thing when it comes to cosplay, I just be like, look, when you cosplay, have fun with it. But the main thing on top of that is just be mindful who you interact with. I'd be telling people, huh?
Yeah, and then people also need to just know laws. Like, okay, if someone did
Yeah,
defamation on your character, y'all can sue
yeah,
because it's going to happen. It's going to happen whether it's cosplay, whether it's DJing, whether it's going to happen in any situation. You just got to know okay, this person is defamation of my character. I lost X amount of wages or whatever the case is, and then taking a small claims court.
The funny part, even though money doesn't involve these things, when it comes to that type of thing, when you just said, I really don't. I really usually don't care when it comes to that because man, these Instagram videos have been saving my ass. So
No, it's understandable. Just I have a lot of business partners
yeah.
around me, like
Oh
people who
yeah,
hold
yeah.
funds and stuff like that. And even if you have a small following, like if you're making money from commissions or you're making money from interactions, you still need to have reprimations for that, especially if it's all false allegations.
Oh
When I
yeah.
sit there and tell people to go to court, it's not for the money, it's for your integrity.
Yeah.
It's for you to, rectify the situation because sometimes when people do things like that and hurt a person's character, now it's hurting your business. Especially if
Yeah.
like if you're a photographer or if you're a cosplayer, if a person is talking shit about you, now you're not gonna get booked and now you're losing money because someone
Yeah.
didn't lie on your name. So for me, it's like y'all need to clear y'all names,
Mm-hmm.
and then that way, whenever someone does research on you, they'll see that okay, this person lied on your name, and you're legit. But if you just like, oh, I'm just gonna block them, or I mean, yeah, you could block them, but that doesn't solve the problem. What solves the problem is accountability.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, don't get me wrong. The people I've worked with and sponsors and everything. I got drunk with these people way too many times for them to not understand how I am. So I know that's not how partnerships usually work, but still.
Right.
But it's like, okay, they know, you know, how I am and everything. And usually I will tell them before and be like, hey, I can't stop you from, maybe working with this specific person and all that because I'm not the type of person like that. But in the end, I kind of am. But it's like you may want to be mindful of this specific person because yeah. And then I would show them the reason that it was said say this and everything. And yeah, that's how I usually kind of stop people from doing that because it's like it's not fair. It's just like okay, you're gonna do this and everything and try to stump people over and everything, like just using me as an example and everything. I was just like, I was like, these people see me at these parties way too many times and not know how I am. And but yet they're harboring the people that actually does these type of things to, let's say, like harass men or women, because it can happen to both. But it's just like they got people that actually do harassing worse than anybody that maybe somebody that's just trying to look to interact with people and just like talk about anime and stuff. But yet at the end of the day, they harboring like the worst kind of people too. That's what I can't stand in regards to certain communities and all that.
Of course, I mean, you are the company you keep, and so that
Yes.
also calls on the person. Like if you see that they are around a certain type of people, people act like they can't find better suitable friends or partners. That has to fall on the person. Like I don't hang around with certain groups of people for specific reasons. And as bad as I want to be in those spaces, it's going to be, more stressful for me to be in those situations. So then I just look at other places. And
Yeah.
that's going out of my comfort zone. It goes back to the comfort zone. Like people stay in those comfort zones because they don't want to do extra work to find another space or to find another cosplay group or to find another convention or whatever the case is.
Mm-hmm.
They wonder why just blaming that space doesn't work. You can blame the space all you want. That space is going to exist. You have to know your worth and be like, you know what? I don't like that this person plays the victim all the time, or I don't like that this group of people does favoritism. And you just kind of have to be realistic with yourself and be like, well, I don't like it, but there's plenty of places in the world. We all know that there's cons in all different states, counties, districts. And you might just have to travel out of state to go to your favorite con to people that's gonna treat you the way you want to be treated, than to stay local and deal with the bullshit.
Yeah. That is true. Cause oh man, this is why I kind of stopped joining communities and begin with a couple years back, but now I see why I kind of just like, you know, stayed out of it to begin with. I'm just like, ugh, I don't got time to stress myself out. I know my worth. I got better things I need to do anyway. But enough about the bad things. of this conversation. So let's talk about you for a good flat out minute, even though I can talk about you for about 4 or 5 hours as much as I need to.
Oh,
Um, but around the cosplaying sense of things, I should have woke my ass up earlier. Around the cosplaying sense of things, how long you been cosplaying in general? Because I don't even think I really asked that.
I've been cosplaying since the age of 5. I was born in Nikko, Japan.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, so I actually started cosplaying in Japan.
Mm-hmm.
Streets of Harajuku with Lolita fashion and everything.
Mm-hmm.
And most of my con experience was international before I moved to America. So
Mm-hmm.
I've been cosplaying since I'm 30, basically 25 years.
Damn. Okay. Cool. 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 Congrats to that.
Thank you.
Um. hmm. So like, I don't really even think this is a question, but like, what kind of cosplay did you consider yourself?
Like type?
I really don't think it's a type when it comes to that. That just came to my head.
I
Cause
like to
like,
consider myself authentic cosplayer. Like
okay.
when I cosplay my characters is because I have studied them thoroughly. I've studied their mannerisms, their background, their lore, and I don't cosplay characters that I don't see myself as, whether it be male or
Mm-hmm.
female. So every character I cosplay as because I saw myself in them. And I guess the niche of cosplays that I do will be either strong women or strong protagonists. Sometimes I do villains
Mm-hmm.
depending on their background, but a lot of the times it's whatever my principles are. Like if like for instance Demon Slayer, of course I cosplayed Rengoku, I cosplayed Tengen, I've cosplayed Shinobu because their characteristics is what I identify with. And then on the villain side I did Muzan. I did also one of the upper moons. So for me it's like I don't cosplay for clout. I don't
Mm-hmm.
cosplay for trends. I hate trends. So I hate when people tell me, "Oh, this new anime just came out. You need." I'm like, no, I will cosplay what I want and when I
Mm-hmm.
how I want. I don't care about following. Like I love my followers to death, but like I don't care to get followers. Like I don't get paid for this shit. This shit comes out of my pocket. So every
Mm-hmm.
cosplay I have dropped has been out of my pocket. I do my
Mm-hmm.
own, I do my own makeup, my own contacts, my own things. Like that's all. So um and I have nothing against cosplayers who do it for money, but for me, it's like their heart is into it. It's the same thing for gaming. Like I am an actual gamer. I don't just play games because it's popular. Like I play the games that I like to play.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, for me, I just kind of just look at the role of an influence is what I say for myself. Just because people that kind of like influence when it comes to these niches and the cosplay community, they just looking to influence others to do what they want to do or whatever or go for the goals in cosplay community, not giving a fuck about all this stuff, whether it's drama, what people think about them, and all this other crap. So I would say that for me and not only that, I mean, we'd be quick to call out people on this shit quickly anyway, which will start a World War III. But lately, other people has been doing that for us, so leave that to them.
Yeah, like I've been calling out fake muscle waifus because for the longest, y'all were like, "Oh, she masculine. Oh, that's ugly." But now it's like, "Oh, muscle waifu, muscle waifu," and then half of these muscle waifus be photoshopping. Now, I'm not talking about the ones who don't Photoshop, but for the ones who be skinny like a damn plank, and then you see their pictures and they got a fucking ass that's almost as big as a camera. Like, come on now. But y'all gonna like, which y'all are entitled to. But I don't like that. So
True, true, true.
it's because I'm a muscle waifu myself. It's like I actually go to the fucking gym. I don't just put my abs on a filter and be like, I got abs.
That's true. That's true. And there's no point in asking why do you cosplay since you literally just explained that a few seconds ago.
Cosplay because I like to emulate. what the fantasy of that cosplayer or that cosplay is.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a form of expression. It's a hobby. It's no different than, when I dance. So for me, it's like cosplay ain't no damn game to me. Like I take
Yeah.
it very seriously. So, and I very much enjoy when I go to cons when little kids run up to me and be like, "Oh, I want to, I'm inspired by you." I actually care more about kids looking up to me than adults. And if people get offended about that, I don't care. But it's because I am considered an influencer. I don't see myself as an influencer. I just keep everything 100. And of course,
Mm-hmm.
when I speak, people don't like what comes out of my mouth because I'm not here to coddle people. I ain't your mother. So I'm gonna say what I want to say, and we gonna agree to disagree. So it is what it is. But I cosplay because I genuinely want people to have more self value. I want them to have more self esteem. I want them to be able to do what they want to do, however they want to do it, regardless of the pressures that's out there. And I need for people to understand that those people don't dictate you.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to fucking cosplay a white character, even though our characters aren't white, they're Japanese, unless they have a white background, you can cosplay what you want. You don't have to just be a black. You don't have to just do black characters because you black,
Yeah.
or you don't have to just do Asian characters because you Asian. Just
Yeah.
don't blackface, or just don't appropriate the culture. Actually,
Yeah.
do like if you are doing like a Chinese anime, actually study the anime and actually wear the chisam, or actually do the culture.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. And cause I've been heavy about that lately.
Yeah, we both have. And people be like, well, where you're gatekeeping. Like, it's not gatekeeping. If
Oh
I know the lore of Metal Gear, and if I,
no,
for instance, I did Fortune from Metal Gear to Sons of Liberty, if I am
isn't
called,
she black?
yes, she is black.
Okay.
And, but the thing for me is that people love to say it's gatekeeping when they don't know the lore. It's only gatekeeping when you don't know the character or the lore. So if someone tells me, for instance, I had gotten into an argument with a Mortal Kombat cosplayer because
Mm-hmm.
they claimed that they were Scorpion, but it was clearly dressed as Reptile. And I'm like, I don't think you understand that you are not portraying the character you say you are. And it was like, oh, no,
Mm-hmm.
my own concept. I'm like, okay, well then just say it's your own concept. You can't call yourself Scorpion when you look like Reptile.
Mm-hmm.
It's just things like that, and it's just frustrating for me because it's like people take pride in cosplay. So if
Yeah.
they're telling you, you got the character wrong, you need to accept that you got it wrong. Just know that you ain't do
Yeah.
the. Don't be like, oh, I'm gonna cancel you. You're being mean. Like, no, because I have never cosplayed a character and have someone tell me, oh, you had the wrong contacts or you had the wrong hair or the wrong outfit. I'm like, nope, because I do research. I
Mm-hmm.
all the characters that I do. Now, if I do my own special rendition or like a fan made edit, then that's different. Or if you have your
Yeah.
original, obviously can't nobody tell you if it's an OC, but it just goes to the point of people just being too damn sensitive, or they put themselves in a limelight. Like you can't be on Facebook or Instagram 24/7 and then you get mad when people talk about you. Like you put yourself out there.
Yeah. I
So
agree.
be realistic. People gonna like you and people not gonna like you. It ain't gonna be all roses.
Yeah, I agree with that. It's just like I've noticed a certain thing. I'm just like, damn, people gatekeeping characters now. And I'm just like, I was like, so why gatekeep a character that one is not yours? Because I made it to people very clear. If you even think, if you even think about gatekeeping any character from Origin of Shogun, I'm gonna be pissed.
No.
Cause I just be like, if you if you even think about gatekeeping him, I'm gonna lose my shit.
Of course.
Because yes, black, white, Asian, or whoever can cosplay. I'm not trying to deal with stress a few years from now after this crap releases being like, oh, this character's black, this character's white. I mean, he's black, but it's just like anybody can cosplay. And like, I'm not trying to, I'm not trying to deal with that certain niche of just being like, okay, like because I know certain things that creators, especially manga writers, go through to be like, oh, we said this. I was like, no, the fuck we didn't. Because if an interview, if it didn't come out of my mouth, pause. But like if these specific words didn't come out of my mouth, that I said that okay, only like if I say only white should be cosplaying this character, that's gonna make me look bad than the motherfucker.
Yeah, because that is gatekeeping.
Because one, any character that I've designed, I just be like, do whatever you want with it, but don't let anybody gatekeep. Because I swear on a mother of Christ, if I see somebody gatekeeping this character, I'm gonna lose my shit.
No, I get that
Like,
because people were gatekeeping my Sniper Wolf because they was like, oh, Sniper Wolf's white. First of all, Sniper Wolf is Kurdish. She's not white. And anybody can cosplay Sniper Wolf as long as you have her exact outfit, her exact
yeah,
mannerisms, and her sniper rifle. So
yeah,
for like people confuse gatekeeping with people just wanting characteristics. If people just want you to, be the character, like have the actual outfit, the hair and everything, that's not gatekeeping. But if they want to be like, oh, that character is white or Asian, and you can't cosplay them because you're black, or that you need to cosplay black characters, then yes, then you are gatekeeping when it is only descriptions of race or sex or gender.
yeah. Because it's just like, hey, I almost went back and forth with I almost went back and forth with a cosplay on that the other day too. Because she was like, so can females cosplay some of your male characters too? I was like, yeah, I mean, I ain't gatekeeping. Because like if you cosplay Matsuka in the most uniqueness and flirtatious way, I'm just gonna look the other direction. Because I'm not gonna look at you with googly eyes. I mean, I only do that unless people want me to.
Right.
Obviously, you a firm stand of that. Thinking
Thank
I
you.
think it, but like I always be like, look, y'all can do whatever y'all want. It's just like if you choose to cosplay Matsuka in a very flirtatious way, I'm gonna avert my eyes the other direction. If you tell me to look, cool, I'm looking.
Right.
But 5 minutes later, I'm still gonna turn my face away. Even though you a firm believer of turning my face around. I never forgave you for that.
Why?
be like, no, you gonna go and look where I'll be like, as much as I want to. You know I got so goddamn respect for you, woman.
Well, it's because I know that it ain't disrespectful. I'm not those types of females to wear something provocative and then be like, oh, why are you staring at me? Like, no, I know my titties is out, my ass is out. I know you're gonna stare. And if I don't want you to stare, I'll be like, don't fucking look at me.
No,
That's the
no.
difference
Here's
between
the
me.
thing. The amount of times at parties and stuff when I even see you, you notice me turning my eyes the other direction. And then you just do this, be like, I'm right here, sir. I'll be like, no, I'm over here.
Nope.
I'm like, come on. And then you be like, I understand you trying to be respectful, but I'm right here. I'll be like, I know, but I'm over here.
Because I don't talk to people and then be like talking to them like this. So that's just a me thing, and I understand that some people aren't like that. But then I actually have friends I'm not friends with anymore because they do the exact same thing. Like, oh, I don't want to be looked at. And I'm like, but your titties is out. Like,
Yeah,
I look at titties. I'm sorry if you got double D's in my face. I'm gonna be like, huh? I'm not even gonna be looking at you.
yeah,
Then okay, let me put my chin up. It's like you know what you're doing. Like don't play with my intelligence. Like if you know your titties is hanging out and you got the baby on the motherfuckers glistening like fucking Hawaiian rolls out of an oven, what you expect?
yeah. I just be like, listen, because like that, it kind of goes in the length of like just sharing like cosplayers and my story and stuff like that. Because at first, I stopped doing that from a certain situation back like, damn. Uh, sorry, I just lost my train of thought for a minute after what my friend just texted me.
Damn.
But so yeah, so it's CC related. I'll explain in a minute. But but yeah, it's like with that, it's like a certain situation that happened. I just thought, okay, let me stop sharing cosplays a little bit because like I always like DM be like, hey, do I got permission to share this or whatever? Like I just want to share this guy. I think it's pretty cool. Like obviously you look good, but I just want to be like that in a non-weird way. Be like, no, I don't mind sharing to begin with. I just be like, sure. Be like, yes, I'm sure. I'll be like, fine. And I just be like, heart face, fucking fire, whatever. It's just like I'm a man. It's just like I kind of, even though they say this, I still feel like okay, I gotta be mindful of this. Like obviously, when it comes to you, I don't gotta do that, but I still be like, wait, I know this woman long enough. I'm sure she don't care, but at the end of the day, I still gotta be respectful and all that. At the
Right,
end
and
of the
that's
day,
the character. And both men and women should do that. It shouldn't just be only on men.
yeah. So it's just like because I've noticed lately, it's just been like it's been a lot of girly groups that just for the girls that wants to like bash men in the community and like I don't know as much, but it's just like
I can't stand those groups.
I I ran into a lot of them and I was just like I never used the word bitch a day in my life when it comes to the cosplay community. But when it comes to that group,
I
but
mean, hey, it's
sorry,
it
I
is
lost my train of thought.
it is what it is. Like if you
but
act all emotional and defensive and combative all the time, I don't know what else you would expect not to be called.
but but yeah, it's just like I just like what I noticed that it's just like why? It's just like I'd be like, because like I remember this happened at Katsu, right? Oh man, I'm praying next year's not drama filled, but
There, I was at Katsu.
no. You wasn't in my proximity when this happened.
Yeah, I was doing my own shit at Katsu. That's
Yeah,
all.
you was around my drunk proximity though, but but like when this happened, I was on my phone texting um someone that I ran into, and I was telling her I was at the atrium level. I was like, "You can come by. I'll be here in a minute." And out the blue, I closed my eyes for a little bit, and then these two cosplayers, I already got them blocked, just came at me and just was like, I noticed you staring and all that, right? Because I noticed her friend's face because I know her friend's a fan of mine, right? And
Right.
I'm looking at her and I was like, because when I make this look, I'd be like, man, I could say so much fucked up words to a friend right now, but I choose not to because I respect her. So
Respect is earned though.
yeah, no, oh no, respect is earned, not given. But it's just like with that, I was like, I chose myself not to say anything because I was trying to have fun, which I ended up doing, but it's just like, mm-mm-mm.
Yeah,
So,
don't value yourself for drama or the
oh hell no, I was not devaluing myself that weekend because like they was
right.
not stopping me from having fun.
Because sometimes it don't even be you. Sometimes that person just has a fucked up mentality and they just trying to find someone.
Oh no,
Someone.
oh go sorry.
No, I'm just saying like sometimes people just have vendettas and you just be like the pick of the crop pretty much.
No, this is like a kind of like the issue was that it's like that's what I always say. Like, stop coming from people that don't have to do anything with a set situation that you may have a beef with somebody with. They don't know what's going on. Don't come for people, and that's that. And you're wondering why people are going after you. Like people still never understand that. It's just like when it comes to Casa, I just be like, hey, if you choose to work with me, that's fine. But above all, I I don't work with anybody unless they comfortable working with other people. I mean, obviously we work together, but it's just like I don't I'm just not a fan of working with people in the community unless I know them. Like unless I know them personally. It's
Right.
just like it just doesn't work well now compared to how it was back then. Because back then it was actually fun working with people. But
Hmm.
now it's just like some goddamn popularity contest. I was like, And then I made a whole goddamn thing in my story, which I'm sure you already seen. Just look, I'll be like, look, I'm willing to work with anybody, but the moment you set me off, I'm calling the refs. And
Right.
that's why I keep my friend circle small. I keep that shit small as hell too. And it's just like, no, like I don't got time for this specific counter of drama. So I'm like, yeah, you can I'll be like, y'all can say what y'all want and stuff and not all that. Because like that goes by what we talked about before. I always tell people, I was like, look, I can't stop you from saying what you want about me. But at the end of the day, I know majority of the stuff you're saying ain't true because I was like, because you saying I say this in the DMs. I was like, oh, I could literally show people when this says otherwise. Yeah, saying that I'm like this in person. I was like, no, Instagram story says otherwise.
Right.
And they'd be like, they like that in person and be like, I'd be like, no, and be like, no, people in the story says otherwise. I'm like, yeah, but at the end of the day, for me, that's why I'm not too worried about it because I know since Instagram stores be saying my ass like it's nothing for real. So it'd be like, okay, they say, oh, Wolf Shade did this, but yet you see a completely different story. Most of these stories be lasting like a good minute to 2 minutes. I'd be like, okay, uh, I'm just like, you know what? People can say what they want in general. It's just like I'm that to the point where I just don't give a fuck anymore. And I've been like that for years. So, but yeah, at the end of the day, I'm gonna keep doing me. So,
People
but
just stop fucking following everything that they see. I also don't like people who do that shit too. Like if you don't have a problem with that person, and just because someone else has said something doesn't mean you follow suit.
yeah,
People say about me all the time. Oh, Bree is aggressive and Bree doesn't. And I'm like, but you ain't gonna say that shit to my face?
so people say you aggressive.
Yes, all the time.
I mean,
I
I
act
find
aggressive. I act manly. I'm like, I don't act manly. If you act like a bitch and you get intimidated by me, then that makes you a bitch. It doesn't make me manly.
I find the intimidation. I mean, yeah.
So, I mean, when people get to know me, they know I'm a protector. Like, I don't like bullies. I don't like people who play the victim all the fucking time. I
Mm-hmm.
don't have emotional intelligence or emotional maturity. So, if
Mm-hmm.
those characteristics, yeah, we're not gonna get along. Because if you say some dumb shit to me, I'm gonna be like, nah, that's your fault. I ain't gonna coddle you. I ain't gonna be like, oh, everything's okay. That person wasn't like, nah. Especially when it comes to relationships, like a lot of guys come to me about their relationships, and then I guess they expect me to side with their girlfriend or whatever, or because I'm a woman, and I'm like, no. If if you went out with the boys and she told you that you can go out with the boys, but they made it a problem, that's her problem. That's not a you
Yeah.
problem. She didn't have to be, hey, I don't want you to be with the boys. It's also double standard, especially if she's been hanging out with the girls or going on shopping sprees, but then you can't hang out with the boys.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then I get in so many arguments with some of well, I'm not friends with them anymore, but like just dumb shit like that. And they be like, oh, well, Brie, you're supposed to be on my side. Why? Because we both got a fucking pussy?
Dude.
That don't make sense. Our pussies
Jesus.
ain't the same. My pussy has boundaries. It has boundaries and it has limitations. I'm not 7-Eleven. So what you do is not what I'm going to do. When I am dating someone, if they have a problem with whatever I'm doing, whether it be cosplay, BDSM, shoots or whatever, if they be like, hey babe, I don't feel comfortable you doing nude shoots, or I don't feel comfortable you wearing lewd cosplays, we'll have a conversation, and guess what? I won't be wearing them because I respect my partner. I'm not gonna be like, oh, you don't tell me what to do. No, it has nothing to do with that. If y'all don't want shit to be told to you, stay the fuck single. You can't act
Yeah.
single in a relationship, which means ain't shit gonna always be about you.
Yeah.
You don't have the emotional intelligence to be like, well, you know what? This person don't really understand what I like, doesn't mean you settle either. And men need to understand y'all be settling for the most degenerate pussies, and I don't understand. Or you be getting a club girl, expecting the club girl to stay at home. You get a stay-at-home girl expecting her to do club shit. Like y'all be dating the wrong fucking females and then be getting mad that they're not gonna do what you like instead of actively finding the person that does what you like. And vice versa. Like, you can't be a photographer dating a cosplayer and then get mad they spend money on cosplays or that they own fucking Facebook. You knew what you got into when you dated them. If you didn't want to sit there and be dealing with cosplay drama and cons, then you shouldn't be dating a cosplayer.
Mm-hmm.
Or if if you met her at the club and she had her ass out, and then she wear her ass out to the fucking store, what you expect? You met her with her ass out. You her ass at the club. Now you want to get mad that her ass is out in public? Like, make it make sense.
Oh man, I would not be good to tell you how much stuff when it comes to that I almost got in arguments for. I just be like, oh my goodness, because I remember, I forgot this cosplayer's name, but she's not in my recollection anymore. I don't even think she's on Instagram anymore, but she sure was jealous as hell of the collab we did.
Which one?
Both of them. I was like, hold on. I was like, one, who are you? That's number one, because I didn't know her. Two,
who are these broads?
the funny thing I was literally just checking my block list too to see if she was still there. She gone now. So
that shit don't make no sense at all to me. It don't make no sense because
go
I go through this shit all the time. Like, I'll have people's partners getting mad at me, and I'm like, for what? Oh, well, you took a picture and her titty was on your arm. Yeah, bitch, my titty was out. And my titty was on the arm.
No, it's just like I was like, one, who are you? And two, what is the problem? And three, I was like, she's one of my closest friends. I was like, so you thinking I'm not gonna get my daily dose of mocha frappe cream? Thank you, tiramisu. Thank you. I was like, you said what?
It's because they're insecure. And my thing is that just say that you're insecure.
Here's the thing. These are people I don't know. That's the issue. I don't know them, and I'm assuming, like, the funny thing, even though I don't know them, I never assume that you know them because I'm sure you will let me know in a heartbeat if you know these people. But it's just like with that, I was like, I mean, the 178 people ain't complaining, so I don't know why you complaining. Because I told her, I was like, one, I'm sick of a bag of Pringles. Because one, if she tells me let's do this, you think that's gonna stop me? I'm gonna be like, hey, fuck yeah, what we doing? I'm gonna sound like a goddamn puppy. Like, what we doing?
Yeah, like, people know I'm in a relationship, so it's like, I'm not single.
Yeah, I'd be like, sorry, but it's like I'd be like people. I was like, people should already know how close we are already. I was like, if she tells me, hey, let's do this cosplay for it, she'll be like, when and where, like,
right.
And then not only that, I'll just be like, what's the problem? Like, I don't know you, so I'm just like, okay.
Mm-hmm. Sorry,
Is that what I think? Is that what I think it is?
Mm-hmm. Japanese whiskey.
Jesus Christ.
But, like, so quickly, I'm gonna talk about this because
oh shit,
it pisses me off. A lot of women get intimidated by me simply because I either exude the confidence that they wish that they had, or I exude the intelligence that they lack. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's just, when it comes to me, I don't curve my mouth. So regardless of if you male or female, whatever gender you are, I'm not curving my mouth. So when I've had quite a few people after I do some collabs, whether it be like a sexy cosplay or they do like one of the cosplays I did was Ada and Leon. They got a couple scenes with the leg all up being all sexy. And so the guy didn't have a problem. He knew that I was with who I was with. And mine didn't have a problem. because he's my photographer. The only person who had a problem was the female. So you know me, I do shit in person or I go straight to your DMs. I don't do no back and forth on, online. So I went to her DM like, what's the problem? And then she was like, well, I just don't like how you was touching all up on him. And I'm like, you realize it's just a photo shoot, right? But you had your ass out in a Miracle lingerie set sitting on somebody's lap. He didn't have a problem with that. So what you telling me is you got double standards. And it's like, no, like, you have a whole ass fiance. You know that's wrong. First of all, it ain't wrong. If my fiance didn't have a problem with it and I didn't have a problem with it, there ain't no problem. You make it a problem because you either don't like me or there's something about me that you don't like, which is fine, but you're not about to act like you a fucking angel. Like you ain't have your whole double cheeked up on somebody's dick. We not about to play that. And then she was like, well, I don't like your attitude, and I was like, that's fine. We in the same city, bitch, pull up.
Okay.
So I go through that a lot of the times. And it's mostly with, people not understanding that it's going to happen. So if you don't want your partner doing certain types of shoots or cosplays, then you need to communicate that. You need to make that a boundary. And then if that person does not listen to that said boundary, then yeah, you need to be single. It's that simple. I don't do nothing that my partner don't like. I have over 100 wives. So I don't do anything that my wives don't like. And most of my wives are married with children. So it's like I have consent. Everything that I do with everybody is consensual. They don't have a problem with it. I don't have a problem with it. So
you say you have 100 wives?
Yeah.
And majority of them know me. That's a damn shame. How do I not know them, but yet they know me? That's fucking funny.
Because a lot of them don't have time to come out because they have children. So they literally live through my stories basically. And then sometimes when they do come out, some of them got a little wild. And I'm like, look, you can't be having your titties on my forehead. You just can't be doing that. So what's gonna happen when you do that?
So what I was saying before, how many of them know about me?
Pretty much like the wives and I would say good about 20 of them.
So why don't none of them hit me up?
Yeah. Those 20s, the ones that
no. I'm just being stupid right now. They don't have to.
They probably will hit you up once they become single because a lot of them are leaving their partners. So who knows?
No. I was just saying that because I was like, wait, I've done 2 collabs with this woman.
Facts.
I got a bunch of jealous men and women for some odd reason. And I was just like, because I remember one person asked me, it was like, you ever got mad? My friend Suzuki, you'll meet him soon. He's like, she ever get mad at you? I was like, yeah, when I didn't have her phone number. That's when she got mad at me.
Right. Like, how dare you?
Okay. First off, I'm not a formulator of asking the numbers like that.
I know.
Number 2, because like if I know you in the flat, like this happened to me. Like I know somebody for years, and then out the blood asked for the number, and they gave me that weird ass look. I knew I wasn't getting it from you, but if I was like 1% of me was like, maybe the time is not right, because like I don't overthink when it comes to those things. So I was like, shit. And then when Kanoa, shout out to him, yeah, that's my boy. But like when it came to that, he was like, "Oh, I'll text you." I was like, "Oh, I don't have your phone number," and then you just gave me that goddamn look. I was like, you know me though. I'm like, I'm not gonna ask for phone numbers like that because I ain't trying to go through this shit again. Even though we worked twice together already, and I'm just like, yeah, but it's just like, what the heck? I'm like, I ain't trying to go through that shit again. It's just like, I know I'm not, but it's just like, yeah.
No, I get it's precautions. I mean, I mean, they get mad at me for like the dumbest reasons, and then when I don't give them the attention that they want because they being childish, then it's like, oh, you being mean. I'm like, no, I'm just not giving you what you want. You want a pacifier? Go suck on it. I don't know what to tell you. Like, you're not about to pull me out of pocket. You're not about to disrupt my peace because you want to get your little tantrum across. Like, go masturbate, release some tension, and go have a nap and have a day.
I just be like, damn it, am I bothering this woman? Then you text me like a minute later, be like, oh, okay, I know.
My thing is that I'm blunt. So if I'm bothered, I let people know. Like, when I don't want to talk, I'll be like, don't talk to me. I had a bad day. I'll talk to you later. I communicate very well.
Well,
Communication.
but the funny thing between us, you never hit me with that, but I still noticed it. I was like, okay, I noticed something is off. So let me just do that later. But still text her. You better not avoid me. I'm kidding. I don't do that. But
No,
it's like I'd be like, okay, I figure something is up. And then, but like you still flat out tell me anyway.
yeah, because for me, it's like, it's emotional intelligence. So I don't project my anger unless the person calls it. And I know that people know that I'm upset, whether they're around me or they see a pattern. And for me, it's like, I would feel really terrible if I just snapped at somebody for no reason.
Yeah.
Because I have that enough emotional intelligence to be like, I'm in a fucked up mood and I'm not going to be able to carry a conversation. I'm not going to be able to fully hear how their day is. And I'm not going to be an active listener. And that's a disservice if I call on that person my friend or they're close to me. And I'm not about to disrespect them like that. So that's why I take my personal time to myself until I'm able to actually formulate my sentences to where they don't get misconstrued or misunderstood. And then that's when I reach out.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, it's like for me, I don't see how people don't notice how easy it is to notice how somebody's feeling. Because for some reason, for me, that shit is easily noticeable. I'm just like, I know this person's in a bad mood. Okay, I mean, I messaged them, and then when I'm like 2 hours into a nap, they message me, be like, "Hey, you got to talk." I was like, "Figured you was in a bad mood."
Yeah. I'm the
Like,
same.
I've had. Oh, go ahead.
It's just, you're an empath, and people who have empathy, they're going to feel that. And everyone handles things differently. You'll have some people like me where we're blunt and we'll be like, look, we just not in the mood. So, we just gonna talk when we talk. But then you have others who they want you to talk to them, but when you talk to them, they lash out on you. And they don't understand that that's immature because they
Yeah.
are in their trauma, which I'm not denouncing their trauma. But I'm gonna need for people to understand that when you are traumatized and you start feeling anxious for no reason, or you start feeling whatever you're feeling for no reason, that you're going to either drive people away or you're going to lose people because people don't like being emotional punching bags.
Yeah.
Just checking up on you because they noticed that you went silent for a day or two and you normally posting every day, and then they reach out to you and you start going off like, leave me the fuck alone. They are going to take their distance, and then you have to have the accountability to be like, well, I really did project and I didn't mean to project. And even if you were to apologize after you did such action, they're not obligated to accept it.
Yeah.
But people they don't want to face that. They want to be like, oh, well, I apologize. Okay, good. But when you apologize to me and you made me feel whatever type of way that I felt, now that I'm giving you the same medicine you gave me, because when I came to you open arms, you slapped me in my face. You want to rub the area that you done slapped, and you expect me to be like, oh, everything's okay. No, because you hurt me unbeknownst for no reason. And if you're really close to me and you're doing that, that tells me you don't know me and you don't respect me. And then I have to take accountability to be like, you know what? This person is treating me like a piece of property or a convenience, and that's disrupting my peace. And I gotta protect my peace because ain't nobody else gonna protect my peace. And then sometimes you're gonna have to let that person go. And then sometimes you may not let them go. But you don't dictate how someone's supposed to react when you caused it. But that's what people don't understand. They feel like they can do some shit to you and then tell you how to process it. That's not how this works.
Listen, I be telling people, I was like, look, I may be a nice person, but I'm not the person you want to test because I will blast your ass in a hurry.
Right.
Because people, this goes back to my other thing. People like to harbor the worst people, in which I'm mighty surprised people that's on my mind right now didn't get exposed by now. But hey, hopefully. hopefully soon. But at the end of the day, I got better things I need to focus on.
Everything happens for a reason. I mean, there's
Yeah,
plenty of people I could have exposed, but then that's devaluing myself. And I'm like, nah, I'm like,
true.
but God gonna do it way better than me.
I
So
mean, yeah, I mean, it was just like, because I made a post very clear. I was like, when it comes to CCE, and you ain't getting away from me from there. Just saying.
what you mean?
No, because I said what we talked about
Oh,
before.
I
Yeah,
got you.
yeah.
I was like, wait, I got you. Yeah, that makes sense.
But no, I tell people when it comes to CCE, I'm gonna be focused on having fun because that's literally my birthday week.
Mm-hmm.
Like my birthday's on a Monday, but I'm celebrating that entire week, September 3rd.
Hey, my older brother
So,
September 7th.
so I'm gonna be celebrating that entire week. I
Mm-hmm.
do not got time for this shit. Because
Yeah.
if you decide to test me for some odd reason, I am gonna lose my cool. Because one, I already know I'm going to deal with a lot of perceived issues there. A lot of perceived issues of people that can't stand me because I'm friends with a certain person, I'm best friends with a certain person that they don't like. And I'm
Goodness.
just like, I mean, that's your problem, not mine.
Correct.
I like I know he didn't do anything wrong. It's evidence of him not doing what you said that he's doing. So I would stick with him.
I know who you're talking about.
So I'm like, like that's what I'm gonna do. So it's just like, because I already know some of these specific people's gonna be there. I was like, I already got a bunch of people that want to meet me for some reason, about what, 287 people, and I'm just like, why? I don't know you, but that's fine. If you want to meet me, just say hello. Let's have a conversation and keep moving. So
All right,
I
that's all
always,
you.
yeah, I always tell people like that. But at the end of the day, I got better things I need to do, and I got stuff I need to take care of anyway. But at the end of the day, I'm gonna end part one here because I know we both busy as a motherfucker. But oh my goodness! But thank you for joining me on this lavish exchange. Surprisingly, we didn't get completely off sidetrack because you really literally answered the questions in between your sentences. I was like, okay, no point me asking that. So for people that checked episode 64, this is the lovely Alpha Wolf. Alpha, we got much love for you. I mean, that's them. I'm talking about me, but hey, at the end of the day,
Much love.
much love to you and everything. And yeah, let's just keep it going.
Sounds like a plan.
All right.